Ah, Odie Hawkins.
Hey, what's going on?
I gather I hear your drumming in the background.
Oh, yeah, let me put this down.
Yeah.
I
All
was
right.
just trying to figure out what kind of mistakes I'm making. But that's all beside the point now, because we're here, and today is Monday, and
Moments in time.
Moments-inTime. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, let me come and join you.
Hey, please, would you?
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, man, it looks so warm and nice. All of it. I didn't know you were covering yourself up like that. Moments-inTime.
I'm glad you approve.
You just turned my whole program around. I was about to do something else. Okay, yeah, Moments-inTime.
Today you're going to talk about prison.
Okay, I talk about, did I ever tell you that I spent 4 years in prison?
4 years in prison. Not the whole 4 years.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I spent 4 years in prison.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Okay, here's what happened. First of all, I've been intimately acquainted with the prison system from early times, because one of my earliest memories as an 8-year-old was to go and visit my father at Statesville Penitentiary. I did that for 5 years and 8 months, from 8 to 13.
Wow, what an impression.
My mother did a few months here and there for extraordinary conduct.
Yes,
because she was...
a little bit was something else.
My mother was... She's a tigress, and she used to tear places up from time to time, which meant that I would go and visit her in Statesville Penitentiary. I mean, in the Cook County Jail.
Oh, okay. That was Lillian.
That was that. I had a cousin who murdered a woman in a telephone booth. They were lovers, of course. And she had pissed him off somehow or other.
Why?
And the telephone booth was in a tavern. This is on the west side. And he goes into the tavern, she's in the telephone booth, and he thinks she's talking to some other person, and he crashes through the telephone booth and stabs her to death and so forth.
Oh my goodness.
So he went to jail. What I'm trying to do is establish the
association.
So I was familiar with jail before I first spent some time there. And I'm just joking about spending some time. I'll explain that as we go along.
Please.
But these matters, these visits in and out, made me very concerned about being in prison. I never wanted to go.
Well, what did your father tell you?
When I went to visit him at Statesville, and he said, look around, okay? Do what I did and get caught, and you could wind up in here. And believe me, one of the worst sounds you ever want to hear are the sounds of the gates closing in jail.
I had one occasion I visited my girlfriend. Her father was in jail. And as you said, from the pat down, which was uncomfortable, being patted by strangers, to...
It's humiliating.
Yes, to the sound of the gate closing. While we went into the visiting area, I was like, ooh, this is not good.
Okay, it's one of the reasons why I think they started calling it the slams.
Ah, okay,
like,
that
hey,
makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. I got 5 years in the slams. Anyway, from that point on, I became very anti-Odie going to jail.
I'm glad.
That was enough. I could see that I didn't want to do that. Anyway, I'm fast-forwarding us to, I made a couple of notes.
All right, tell me about
I'm fast-forwarding us to being in L.A., and it was like 1986, and I was a starving artist starving writer, living my little apartment up there in Los Feliz, having a great time.
I'm sure you are.
I could get up every morning, go up to Bonsdown Park and do a workout.
Your binimbal.
My binimbal. I was eating crushed peanuts with cold water.
For one of food.
You know, I had a very pure diet.
Very pure.
Very pure diet.
Poverty will do that.
This was going on for weeks.
I'm sure.
You know, I can think of people I knew who were coming by my apartment, my nice little apartment, Los Feliz, you know, before it became Los Feliz.
Right.
Between Kingswell and Vermont. And, you know, I can remember somebody coming by, a couple of friends, and say, hey man, why don't we get a snack or something? He was like, I was anxious to do that. So they said, where do you want to go? Luigi's Italian restaurant goes up the street, very good restaurant. So well, come on, let's go and drink a little wine and have some pasta.
Yeah.
That was the first full meal I had that week, right? So I ate a lot.
Took some home, I gather.
I took everybody's leftovers, and they thought it was funny, you know, like, what's the deal with you? Ain't no deal. I mean, the check is in the mail. Fasting even more forward, I look up and at least my telephone was still on. I got a phone call from an organization called Arts Reach at UCLA. And I can't think of the woman's name at the moment. But she said, how would you like to teach a class, a writing class, at Chino Minimum Security Prison?
Okay. Familiar with Chino, Department of Justice. Yeah.
Well, you know about it. I hesitated for about 10 seconds. So, sure. You pay, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, you know, the pay was nice. So I looked up, and actually I was brought into the class with another person who can tell her side of the story at some other point in time.
Right.
But this is what happened with me.
Okay.
We were required to come to the prison at 2 days a week, I believe, Monday and Wednesday or something like that.
Makes sense.
And going into any prison is traumatic, and especially for someone who has had the opportunity to visit
as a child.
As a child, you know, Chino didn't have so many slamming things because it's a minimum security prison. It's up there in Chino, and there, you know, pastures over there where they have cows.
Oh, okay.
And you might think that you're on a farm or something, but it is sort of.
Well, they do some farming, I take it, there at the...
They raise a lot of their own vegetables and stuff. So it's a healthier diet in that prison than in most prisons. Okay. I go, and I thought this is okay.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that you get a funny feeling every now and then when you realize this is a prison and there are people in here. For example, I'll throw a few at you. For example, there was a young man who killed his mother and his father, who was in my class.
Okay.
Young white boy who was smart as a whip. He figured something out. He was in a minimum security prison, but people are abused in many different kinds of ways and go through a lot of different changes if they don't have protection.
Right.
So he was rich.
Oh.
And what he did, when I looked up, here comes, I call him the young white man. Here comes a young white man in class with two very buffed up African-American convicts on either side. So, you know, what's this about? He wants to be in the writing class. The other people are just going to be in the class with him. So I had to get that straightened out. Say, okay, I'd like to have everybody in here have a notebook. You've been supplied with notebooks. how about you two? We were them. So, well, okay, I don't want to get in any kind of, you know, antagonistic relationship right away. So, I looked up and the guy was quite a good writer and he was doing minimum time. What he did when he first got in, I realized his circumstances. He had hired these two guys as his bodyguards.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he was safe. You know, everything was just simply hunky-dory, you know. His nails were manicured. Okay. He supplied his guards, the people, with whatever they needed. Mostly, I guess, it seemed to be cigarettes and candy. You know, maybe it knocked him out a few bucks here and there. The other thing about this particular sojourn in the minimum security prison is that I met some of the most ingenious, intelligent people that you could think of.
Please
I'm going to
share.
tell you the story about
Please,
one.
tell me about some.
A little taste of my coffee. There's Maxwell House. Nothing beats it.
Odd color.
Colors your tongue red. You want to see it?
Yeah, I see. Odd reddish coffee.
Yeah. Okay. I look up and who comes into class one day but big man.
Okay.
Couldn't call him anything else. 6'8", 320, something like that. And he has a young white guy trailing behind him with his finger in his belt. Well, okay, you know, I'm hip to the scene. I know what that means. That's his boy. But I had to ask him for the sake of having control of the class. Say, okay, why don't you unattach yourself because you know this is not that
kind of class.
Yeah, not that kind of class. So the big man, you know, looked at me and he agreed, detached. So he sits in the next seat, but he's the guy that big man calls, you know, water. Okay. And he runs out and
gets some water.
Gets a cup of water, and he just had him do a ridiculous thing. And after a few sessions, I realized that big man was brilliant. Oh. He was a criminal mind, pure and true. And here's what he came up with. Brother, here's what I'd like to have you do for me. It's okay, I don't have my finger in the belt. No. Not anything like that, you know. I want you to read this. So, you know, what is it? It's something I wrote. So, okay, I gave you guys the assignment. And if it's not that, I don't want to read it. Well, it's close to the assignment. Here, read it. So, no, you know, I've just explained to you that if it's not the assignment, I don't want to read it. What is it? Well, I can tell you. So, yeah. Everybody else has gone out of the class. It's me and him. All right, okay, what is it?
The guard is waiting for him to come out too, though, right?
Yeah, but it was a minimum security prison, real funny. After the class was over, people could just meander. It seemed to me, once they came in off the farm, sometimes they came in off the farms stinking like manure because they've been walking out the stalls and whatever. Right. But once the class was over, you know, it's just like dudes hang out on the corner or something. Okay. It's just, the people in the class that I had realized after the first or second class that I wasn't playing around, so they didn't want to hang around. And, you know, hey, if you don't want to talk to me about the short story assignment that you have, or if you don't want to talk to me about Lajos Egri and his art of dramatic writing or anything like that, then there's nothing we have to talk about. Gotcha. I'm waiting for 15 minutes to go by so I can get the hell out of here, right? So he's a big man. It's okay, you know, he sits in the first seat, the first row. Yeah. I made it my point to sit behind the desk so that we would be separated back. Say, hey, what I got going on is this. I'm requesting assistance from several real estate companies in order to acquire property. Are you following me? To acquire a property. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, my brooch. Yes,
Your
Mommy's
brooch.
brooch. Yeah, Mommy's brooch. Thank you.
It's quite broachy. Okay, yeah, here's my thing. I'm trying to acquire beachfront property in Malibu. Really?
While in prison.
Yeah. Okay, you know, tell me about it. I've contacted 5 real estate agencies. He always became a bit officious when he...
Right, sure.
5 real estate companies in various sections of California, mostly up in that area. And I'm asking them to see if they can acquire a property for me.
Oh.
I know that he's...
While you're in prison?
While
he's in prison?
Right. He's in the dorm. He's in the dorm.
Okay. Very unique concept.
But, well, hey, what works? I don't, you know, a big man. I don't quite understand. Yeah, okay. Well, let me. This is a template of a letter that I wanted to have you read, but I guess I have to explain it. Yeah, please. Okay. I've sent out 5 copies of these various real estate companies. Major league, all the way, top flight. Malibu Realty, Santa Barbara Realty, you know, up there, up in that area. And the property that I'm requesting would need some acreage because I'm explaining to them I have 2 kids who have ponies. Are you with me, Mr. Odie?
Yes, delusional, aren't we? Just a little delusional.
I'm trying to be with you. I'm trying to be with you. Because they're going to need, you know, like a track to keep their ponies exercised and so forth. I don't know if he has 2 ponies or 2 kids or none. Or
looks like none.
It looks like none.
Okay.
So, these real estate companies, you know, are going to be, I guess, forced to compete against each other for my business. Your business.
Yes.
So, how do you communicate? Well, as you know, I'm in bed 2015. In the dorm over there.
Right.
So, what's that mean? Well, that becomes sweet 15. Does it really matter?
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you know, this is fascinating. So, this is where it's gone thus far. What do you think? So wait a minute. You're in jail. You have no office, no nothing, no leverage. What are they supposed to do? I mean, why are they supposed to respond to what it is that you're talking about? He said, well, 2 of them have already responded. I got them competing with each other. This man understood economics and capitalism like you wouldn't believe.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's really incredible.
Okay. But he said, look, let's understand something. What I'm doing is dealing with one of the most corrupt systems in the whole country. The real estate business. People try to cheat each other out of 3 or 4 acres here and there. I have them competing to find me this estate that I want. And I'm asking for that it shouldn't be over 15 mil. So, big man.
Okay.
Big man. What is your monthly income? I refuse to discuss it.
At 75 cents an hour.
But of course, I have some money that's squirreled away,
Whoa.
if you say so. Okay, I'm intrigued. Week after week, he comes and he says, okay, I'm up to 5 now. You're up to 5. 5 real estate companies competed with each other to get an estate with horse or pony path on for his 2 kids. Well, what are they saying about, collateral and so forth and so on? Well, he said, okay, my wife, you got a wife? Does it matter?
On this paper, I do.
On this paper, I got a wife. She's in Red China at this very moment, trying to make a deal with the Chinese for the importation of beech nut chewing gum. I mean, this guy has such a fantastic imagination. Okay, so let's leave that in abeyance. Let's leave that in abeyance because I don't want to hear the outcome. To this day, I don't know the outcome. But what he did, number 2, was to try to get himself a lowered sentence by doing the following. He's got 3 psychologists, I guess they were psychiatrists, competing with each other to try to discover what is wrong with him. And he has been
too smart for his own good.
Well, he was too smart for their own good. And you're right. He was smart for what I heard, and I couldn't say it to him because he might have killed me. But he was too smart for his own good. He had one of the psychologists was coming to visit him on a regular basis, who was putting money in his what they call his store account. So he never wanted for anything. He came, walked around gobbling up candy bars and sending his boy off to get him a Coke and so forth and so on. So what are you telling these people that make them feel that you need to be taken care of? So, well, obviously I'm crazy.
Oh, really?
Big man, wait, let me get a grip on this. You say,
obviously. That's not good.
How are they supposed to know that from what it is that you're talking about? So obviously you know it. So I don't think you're crazy. I think you're just simply brilliant.
Devious.
You may be brilliantly mad, but I don't think you're crazy. In my mind, he said, okay, you know what? You just made a big distinction, because there's a real big distinction between crazy and brilliantly mad. I prefer brilliantly mad. This is one of the reasons I like you. And he hooked his arm around my neck. And I had to tell him, unhand me, or else I will call the police and have you put in solitary or whatever. But don't touch me. Sorry, I didn't know that you were,
Touchy.
Yeah, no, that's the way you, I want to say, that's where you got that little boy putting his finger in your belt, following you around like a little mouse or something. I don't play that.
Right.
We became good friends. He always had something that seemed that nobody had thought of before. What a lot of people had thought of it before is that he was
able to implement.
Well, he was able to look at another facet of it, and I really admired him for that. He said, look, my brother, I've decided to go into the movies. You've decided. Can you act? No. I'm gonna become a producer.
Oh, Lord.
This is for real.
Man with high hopes.
He had
high hopes. High
hopes.
In the sky hopes. In the sky hopes.
Well, it seemed like to me you would make a wonderful actor, but why a producer? So I look at it. An actor has a very limited life span, unless you become a character actor.
Yeah.
And I'm not about to become a character actor.
He's already a character. He doesn't need to become a character.
If I was going to be
What you
anything,
think?
if I was going to be anything, I would be a leading man.
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, look at me.
Uh-huh. He would be.
I'm looking at you. What?
All right, you know, what mirror are you looking in? Okay. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? I don't
Not
think
me.
so. I don't.
But he says, I figured it out.
Mm-mm-mm.
Producers don't have to do anything but use other people's money to create
Yeah.
movies.
That's right, yeah. Talked about that.
I never thought. Use other people's money. So that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
They go out and they seek for, even if the producer, and some of them are millionaires,
Mm-hmm.
even if they do have millions of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
they don't use their own money.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I know how to do is use other people's money. He was a totally cynic. He was
I
totally.
bet he did. Okay.
So hey, look here. Let me show you this. It's a letter from my friend Jose Ortiz.
Right.
So I don't know who is that. Oh, he's the ex-police chief in Tijuana. Ex-police chief. So how do you know him? Oh man, we used to do great cocaine deals back when.
Oh.
Most of the cocaine that's coming through Tijuana came through Senor Ortiz, and I think he's in Colombia somewhere right now. Okay, I didn't know if he knew the guy, if he that other guy. All right.
So that was big man. That was big man.
That was big man. I had enough of big man. I had enough of Chino. I decided, well, what the hell? I'll go ding 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 ding.
Yes.
I think I'll go up north.
Oh, boy. So?
I went up to Oakland, California.
Mm-hmm.
And Arts Reach, the program that I was working for, also had an outlet up there. They had like a subsidiary or something.
Huh.
So I go to Oakland, and I'm already in the system, so all I have to do is transfer my teaching credentials to San Quentin. Chino is minimum security.
Right. San
Quentin is
for real.
Maximum security.
For real. Wow.
It's, as they say, it's where the big boys gather. In addition to that, right down the road from San Quentin was a juvenile detention home. I think they gave it some Orwellian name like Duele Correctional Facility.
Right, okay. Yes, okay, yeah.
For teenage boys.
Right, yes, indeed.
So,
off on the side of the road.
You know,
right.
They give me an opportunity to make a better income. San Quentin, well, I didn't know what that was going to be like other than the reputation that San Quentin has.
Right.
Duele, I didn't know any teenage boys correctional facility. What is that? What is that? I don't know. So I start off at San Quentin on Wednesday and go to Duele on Thursday. San Quentin prison should be closed down.
Okay.
It should have been closed down a long time ago. It's an ancient piece of torture. It's, the whole landscape is torture. I felt I could cope with Chino because you could look out of the window and you could see the fields and the town of Chino right over there and so forth.
Right.
Not only except for the few instances of people who had committed really horrible crimes.
Right.
It was reserved for people who had committed reasonable offenses.
Okay.
You know, minimum security. They were able to get out of prison after 3-4 years. San Quentin had, of course, has people who've been in jail for 30 and 40 years. People die in San Quentin because it's It's a horrible place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have what do you call them? Solitary cells that are prisons underneath the prison.
Okay.
You know, so that people are just ordinarily go insane.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, some people go insane who are not in the prison.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge number of deranged people in the prison population.
Mm-hmm.
I found there were some people who are guilty of certain kinds of inhumane crimes that people would find unimaginable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you think about a human being who dissects a baby?
Right.
You know, just to see what it's like. And why did you do that? Well, I've never done that before. And
That's not the excuse.
Yeah, I could get more and more horrible, but I'm not going to do that. You get the picture. I'm in San Quentin. And in my mind, I just had sort of a romantic idea about San Quentin. You know, it's someplace where James Cagney
Heard about it, right? Yeah.
went and he screamed and yelled. And,
Yes.
But no, this is they put me in like a little cabin in the middle of the yard where the prisoners came out for what you call recreation.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call recreation. And it was really weird because I'm thinking, you know, I'm surrounded by the prisoners.
Yeah.
You signed a little
Waiver.
a
Yes.
little waiver saying,
No problem if I have a problem. Which is a problem.
which is a problem. If you have a problem and we need to rescue you, bye-bye.
It's not our problem.
It's not our problem.
Right.
And I'm signing all of this stuff just for the sake of
Yes,
earning
indeed.
a decent living.
Right.
Earning some money. Week after week, I had 2 years. So,
2 years.
yeah, I mean, there was nothing to do but go there. I stick with my lesson plans, do what I had to do. But what I found out is that there were some very, very smart people, some brilliant people. But in addition to that, there were a large number of innocent people. And that blew my mind, you know.
Yeah.
You sit at a table, let's say we have 15 people in this booth, in this house we in. And I had already bought the services of the dude who snuck up next to me. It was like a weasel or something, you know. You want some coffee or something? So no, but I tell you what, I give you a candy bar if you tell me what's the guy over here in for? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the little skinny white guy with the watery blue eyes. He said, don't mess with him. He's a maniac. What do you mean maniacs?
Ooh, goodness gracious.
He killed his mother and father, his sister and brother, and all the animals in the house. So what's he in for?
Big time issues. Big time issues.
Big time issues. He's got a problem. Every kind of asocial being, in addition to some very beautiful people. But I'll stay with the asocial for a minute, you know. There's Henry.
Yeah.
Getting ready to get out after 15 years for all kinds of child molestation and abuse and so forth and so on. So, say, hey, Henry, you write pretty well. You're going to try to write some short story, get a novel published. I said, no, I'm going to get out of here and try to catch myself a little girl.
Oh, yeah. Pedophile.
A pedophile. He says, I'm a thoroughbred. He said, I'm a thoroughbred pedophile. And what pedophiles do is molest kids, right?
Right.
So that's what you're going to do?
That's right.
Quick as I can get at it, buddy. So, boy, man. You know, the rest of the guys, they're so cynical and cold, they're sitting there just smiling because they know. There used to be a time when people like him, they told me, would be killed.
And
But they had reached the point where, well, you know, that's who he is, and this is who I am.
right. So I don't need to do more time. Yeah. I guess they didn't want to.
Well, yeah, I guess that has something to do with it too. The guy who's in there for 10 years, who may get out after 7.5, doesn't want to have more time tacked to that,
Right.
because he killed a pedophile.
Right.
But that's one instance of the kind of person I'm talking about around this table. Okay, what's so-and-so in for?
So it was like a big conference room table.
That's what we had. We had a big table, big round table. I think it had 15, 20 people at one point.
Oh.
It's okay, you know, what's Jones in for? So, Jones is innocent. What do you mean Jones is innocent? He's innocent. Everybody knows that. Well, why don't they let him out? Because he's, I don't know, he doesn't have a good lawyer. That happened 3 or 4 times.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Barry Schneck and people with the Innocence Project and some of these other fact-finding projects who were studying DNA and so on, discovered that they had something close to a football stadium full of innocent people. A football stadium holds between 90,000 and maybe 100-some-thousand people. As you know, the United States has more people in prison than almost any other first world country in the world. I think next to China or something.
We you know, don't try to cure, just try to punish, you know.
Well, the idea of rehabilitation has been pushed aside a long time ago. But anyway, I had 4 years, I had 2 years between, and Duele, okay, on the other day I go to Duele with the young guys, and in some cases they were anxious to get to San Quentin.
Why?
They said to me, "You're down the road, right?" Yeah. So what's happening with the big guys? So wait a minute, man. Wait a minute.
They're mentors, right?
I can't wait to get to the big house.
Right.
So no. If you hear, look.
Fresh meat at the big house.
Well, they were already into that anyway, because the older, more experienced guys, I'm talking about the 18-year-olds, had it over. I don't know how old you had to be to get in there, but some of the people seemed awfully young. But they had reached the point where they were idealizing about life. You and Quentin, man, you in the big house. You know, what's happening there, what it is. Say, hey, it's terrible, man. You don't want to go. It's already bad enough here.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
You know.
That's what you look to.
Okay.
You know, you're already in deep shit. And so you want to get into deeper shit.
That's what they wanted to get into. Okay, they were suffering because they turned the TV off at 10 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
And I'm saying,
how horrible.
do it again.
How horrible.
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 Okay, they were going through some pain and suffering because of that. What happens if you get into a place where you don't have any TV?
There you go.
And for almost any infraction, you wind up being inordinately punished by having circumstances beyond your belief. At Duele, they didn't have a underground solitary.
Okay.
They didn't have that. They might go and lock them in a room somewhere for 2 days.
Oh, wonderful.
But, you know, you weren't in a dungeon.
Okay, right. Still you can see light about you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, but they were, some of them, I'm not going to say all, some people were really suffering. The dude who said, hey man, I'm so glad that I have an opportunity to learn my ABCs. I said, look, I'm not teaching ABCs. Well, they told me it was a writing class.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, come on in. We'll
Work out
we'll
something.
bring in ABCs for your benefit.
Right.
So here's somebody, during the course of the time, I can't think of his name, Egbert or something, who actually learned his ABCs on the course of the time. Everybody else would be reading the little terrible short stories, or the little good short stories.
Right.
And Egbert, it's okay, what comes after C? R? So now, let's start off all over again.
Right.
Egbert, A, everybody help me here, everybody help me.
Okay.
We're going to get up to D.
Okay.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Got it, Egbert? Okay, I got that. You repeat after us. A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D. Yeah.
Got it. Yes, I got it. Okay, what comes after D?
I don't know, he said.
P? So now, okay, we're not going to go all the way up to P, but P does not come after D.
Okay.
But we'll get
Little by
into that
little.
next time,
Right.
so we moved on. You know, it was like that.
Oh.
Who are these people here?
I have no
Who
idea.
coming by in little red shirts, checking out our neighborhood, I guess.
I guess. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let me bring this to a crashing conclusion by saying,
Well, you know, one of the things I like, your father told you, if you can't do the time, don't do no crime.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I listened to him. It was one of the major pieces of advice that he offered me that I accepted without reservation.
Yes, because he knew what he was talking about.
He knew what he was talking about. So, winding it up, I can say that I spent 4 years in 2 prisons. Well, I never considered dual, what do you call it, correctional institute or prison. It was more like a hard.
But there was a story that he told me about, that you told me about. It was about, well, 2. One was the guard.
Oh, I got fired.
He got fired.
Okay, let me add
Explain
that.
to them why you got fired.
I'm teaching a class in San Quentin about the need for the motivation for a story,
Right.
and also the need to have a
Outline.
an outline,
Have to have an
a
outline.
plot
Yeah.
outline. You need a plot outline.
And you told the prisoners.
Officer
inmates,
Jones,
but
Officer Jones,
you told the inmates that they were in prison because they didn't have a good outline.
and who happened to be sitting in the back of the class at that particular evening, but Officer Jones, who was a real prick. You know, I asked him, what should I call you? Officer Jones.
Okay.
And okay, I mean, what's your name? Officer Jones. Okay, Officer
He
Jones.
probably didn't appreciate doing whatever he normally did at this time, and probably didn't think that the inmates were making good use of their time.
Oh, he hated it. What the hell is going on here? He's trying to teach these people how to write nuisance suits. They're going to be filing complaints because they've learned how to spell. And he was hateful. He was mean.
Oh.
Anyway, he reported me for having been caught trying to teach the inmates how to plot. And I had no choice but to own up to it.
Yes, plot, but not as in crime.
Are you not guilty of trying to teach the inmates how to plot?
Yes.
Yes.
No further explanation needed.
Well, it took about 2 weeks or 2 months to usher me out. But after that, every time I looked up Officer Jones or Officer Smith or somebody would sneak into class. We would do things like, okay, you have to look at an outline as a road map.
Yeah.
A road map that's going to take you from point A to wherever Z is.
Exactly.
Officer Jones and Officer whatever his name look at each other like
Oh, you're doing it again.
a road map.
A road map.
First he's plotting to get him out of prison, then he's gonna give him a road map.
Yeah.
We got to get this guy out of here. When I went into the
Different
office,
points of view, obviously.
from point of view. When I went in to talk about it, and the captain, whatever it is, he understood. He was an intelligent guy.
Right.
He said, well, you know, when I told, he said, you know, you've been reported as telling the prisoners, the inmates, that a lot of them are incarcerated because they did not plot well enough.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
You're gonna get 2 years. Watch and see. When we leave here, you're gonna be 2 years. The only way you can get out of it is probation. I'll give you probation.
Thank you very much.
But he said probation, okay?
Oh, God.
With time off with good behavior.
There's a lot of good behavior here. Okay.
Bring some chocolate bars.
You got it.
He says, well, you know, look, young man, you're in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of that.
Oh, okay.
Ding,
Okay.
ding. And we can't be teaching the inmates stuff about how they can commit better crimes. No. I'm not trying to say. Well, you're talking about plotting.
Yeah.
You're talking about road maps and this.
Yeah.
That sounds subversive. So, well, okay.
They never took an English class?
You can see it was.
Yeah, definitely one.
So anyway, I'm trying to spin us out.
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one, well, I should say two more. There's one where the inmate had a story about seeing a girl he knew when he was in high school.
God.
He saw her on the corner as he was waiting to do a hit.
Okay. I'm gonna give you this. This is what happened.
Okay.
I'm in the class, and I'm gonna call this guy. His name was Dominic Spiato. Yeah, Spiato. Hey, Dominic Spiato.
Okay.
Somebody directed me to Dominic, and I'm using my best New York accent.
Yeah.
Dominic is in the class, and Dominic is a pretty cool guy. He's a middle-aged man, very distinguished, great. Looked like Robert De Niro.
Ooh.
Yeah, looked like Robert De Niro. He asked me, you know, what do you think of this? I give it, say, okay, you need to do so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh, we became friends. They say, hey, always you have to wait till everybody, hey, Dominic, got a minute? Yeah, what are you on? So they tell me you were a hitman. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. How many people did you hit? 46, 48, something like that.
Okay.
You killed 46, 40. Yeah, something like that. You got it.
Okay, all right.
So what are you in for? Jaywalking.
Oh.
So wait a minute, let me get this right. Yeah, you know, well, it's a long story,
They caught him on a jaywalking.
but he had like $15 million worth of something that he had, and they searched him, but he actually was doing something like a minimum sentence. And he was not hesitate.
Considering all the crime he'd done, he said, I'll take the jaywalk. I'll take the minimum, right.
You know.
Okay.
So, what's the story about? You know, and his story was so poignant. It's okay, here's the deal. I'm getting a deal, I'm getting a request for a hit. You know, that's what we call it, a hit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. Killing somebody. No, a hit. That doesn't mean killing somebody, right? We say hit, you say hit too, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, a hit.
Yes,
a hit.
yes, Dominic.
Yes, most definitely a hit.
Yes, Dominic.
Whatever your hit is,
yes,
I
Dominic.
understand.
Yes,
my hit.
I mean, my
okay.
hit, your hit.
Yeah,
your hit is
that's
my
100%. Okay.
I'm in Cincinnati. Maybe it was Cleveland. I don't know, one of these places. You go a lot of places to do a hit. I've been commissioned, I'd been given half my fee, which is, how much was the fee? $4,500. No, I'm sorry, $45,000 for this particular one. What's the cheapest that you do? 25 grand, something like that. Small potatoes.
Okay.
Small potatoes. So I'm in, I used to live in Cincinnati, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
You remember the WKRP in Cincinnati?
Yes, who doesn't remember that? That was one of the greatest shows.
We loved it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, well, I had a part in that, but that's beside the point.
Okay. No comment. Move on with that.
So, here I am, I'm there. I go, I know what the hit is, I know him, I see him. I'm a thorough, I'm a really, I'm thoroughbred, I do this.
He's a professional.
I'm a professional.
Yes.
Professional.
Very professional.
Thank you, Mr. Odie.
Okay.
I know when the guy comes and goes. I know where he comes and goes. I want to do a real good job. I just simply want to blow his fucking brains out only once.
Well,
I don't
that's
want.
good. I'm glad you want to.
What did you say, Dominic?
Just only once.
I don't want to have double shooting.
Too much to clean up. Obviously. Just once, splatter all over the place. Okay.
Oh God.
And all other people standing by.
You should have been in Quentin.
Okay, no, thank you. The story is good enough. Okay. So he was going to do this once deal.
Once and for all, he wouldn't have to suffer or anything like that.
Right.
So I realized that he had kind of scheduled to put him on the northeast corner just about every day at between 8 and 9 o'clock. I rented a place with good sight lines. I could see him right there on the corner. I had a wonderful piece, and I wanted to be very careful. So I go down in the streets, and I'm standing there, and the light is changing. And I looked across the street, and I see this girl. I see this girl.
What's so special about this girl?
I used to know this girl.
Oh my goodness.
We were schoolmates. I went to high school for a few minutes. And I see this girl. And I'm thinking, my God, Isabella. Oh my God, look at this Isabella. I know, you understand, I'm a professional. I know I got a job to do.
Right.
So I'm not going to be detoured.
Right.
But I looked over and, oh my God, this is what he got in the story, right?
Right.
All these emotions.
Aww.
You got to understand, a guy like me, coming from where I came from, I was kind of I don't know, what happened. I was kind of a thug.
Yes.
Hey, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, a beginning thug to a big thug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, come on, Mr. Odie. You're talking about my grade level here.
Yeah, okay.
I went up the ladder,
Right.
I didn't get to be a made man. I didn't reach that level.
Okay.
But I look over there and I see Isabella, and I thought about, we had 2 or 3 kisses. And I got to tell you, that's as far as it went, because she's a good Sicilian girl.
Aww.
Me, I'm just the Napolitan. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My people can't. You know where Naples is? It's in Italy, right? Get a man a Cupidon. A lot of people don't know what Naples is. She's a Sicilian. She's from Taormino. You know Taormino? That's on Sicily, right? Hey! What are you? You capiche?
Okay.
So, no, come on, man. So I'm standing there, and I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking of everything. I'm thinking, me and this girl, we had kids together.
Yeah.
They would now be, I don't know, maybe 30. I might have grandkids.
Wow.
Here I am, I'm in the town to make a hit. And all this is going through me. I almost went fucking nuts, I think maybe I run across the street, hey, it's Isabella, it's me. Dominic, it's me.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't recognize because I'd become, what I am. I become a killer.
Not the sweet kid she knew.
Nah,
not the sweet kid she loved.
No. She loved me. I know she loved me because she kissed me. She gave me a kiss. Here, give me a kiss. You see my lips? She did it right here. Yeah, I could still taste her lipstick. It was blueberry, I think. No, maybe it was cherry.
Cherry. Yeah.
No, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was good.
A romantic moment, a recapture of a moment in time that slipped.
Yes, that's the moment in time.
On his way to a hit.
The light changes, she goes her way, he goes his way. So what about the hit? So, well, you know, I came to town to do my job, I did my job, and then I left. But that's what his story was about. Wow. And it stuck enough in your mind.
Yes, I know. To have a moment of tenderness where, you know, it's like he's on the crossroads, Pilgrim's Progress. On the crossroads, Pilgrim's Progress.
Where you coming from?
Hackensack, New Jersey. What else?
Yeah.
Anyway, and he had a choice, but he got detoured down the wrong path.
Things happen by force of circumstances and in tune with the theme of the time.
Right.
Let's call that a moment in time.
I say a moment in time.
We're coming back?
Yes, next Monday.
Next Monday.
Okay.
Hey, Alfred.
Hey, Alfred, Susan, Mariana.
Friends in the universe.
I see.
Stay up.
All right. Stay up. Talk to you soon when we do Mr. Bonneville Bliss.
Tomorrow afternoon, by all means.
Yes. And Zoom on Sunday.
Zoom on Sunday.
See ya.
See ya. See ya.
See ya.